Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to 14 Days of Christmas, hosted by MK and Janet. And it won't be every day, it'll be Thursdays, Saturdays, and Tuesdays. And this is the photo that I'm going to be using, and it is of my great niece and nephew and Santa. And I'm going to use those pine cone dies, and I don't think I use any of the chipboard. I am going to use that ho 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 die, but I'm going to cut it apart and layer it. And then I'm going to use some of the ephemera and the laser cuts plus some 6x8 paper, which I matted my photo in. And yeah, I'm not going to layer more flowers and greenery on top of the wreath. I'm just going to kind of do an L shape, sort of, kind of a rounded L shape, and have it go around the photo more instead of all the way around the wreath. And I went ahead and put that foam tape on there, took the release paper off, and then thought, oh man, I got a layer and I want a gut. So it made it a little bit more tricky because everything wanted to stick to the back of the photo, but I did manage to get it done. But seriously, what was I thinking? I'm putting that strip of green on there and I'm kind of putting it a little wonky because my photo is matted in the red, and I think the other paper, well, it has like little bluish green leaves on it. I might have failed to mention, but this is 49 and Market Holiday Wishes. And the tickets, some of them though, are just from the tickets that you can buy separately that go with the colors that's already out, and you can mix them in with any of your layouts. This laser piece here, I probably put it upside down. At least that's what I thought when I was doing it. But I liked it upside down because I can nestle that one corner into the one dip there, and it looked like it fit just a little bit better. And I put foam tape under it because, of course, there's foam tape underneath the photo, and I had to bring it up a wee bit. And like I said, it's going to be kind of like an L shape and go around it. But I am going to add the greenery, the die cuts, and also some flowers that match the wreath. And it'll look more rounded than an L by the time I actually get done with it. Mostly because you can still see the wreath part on the bottom when after I add the greenery. And as I said, the ho ho ho, I cut two pieces out of the 6x8 papers, and I put foam tape underneath the diagonal striped pieces, and then I am mounting it on top of the more solid red and offsetting it just a little bit to give it a shadow. And I did that to all three of them. And of course, I cut it apart. It's not one whole word anymore. And they are going to be just kind of scattered around. I did have a little bit of trouble deciding where I wanted to put them, but and some of them's got leaves kind of growing over the top of them. But I figured you could tell what this is. I mean, Santa's in there and it's ho ho ho. I put the pine branches on the bottom, thinking I would just kind of nestle around and over the top the holly branches that are in the collection. And I'm putting foam tape on some of them and some of them I'm not. But while I'm doing that, I want to mention that down there below, you'll find the links to everybody else that are doing the 14 days of Christmas. So you can do a layout or any Christmas project you want as long as it's somehow Christmas related. And I think winter related too. I think somebody asked a question about that. So you might see both. But about the picture, that is my great niece and nephew. And of course, their picture was Santa and he's on a sleigh. And I did think about putting a sleigh in the layout, but I couldn't figure out where I would put it because it's a little bit bigger than what I had need of on here. I thought about putting that little house you see at the bottom left hand corner, but I talked myself out of it too. And I am gonna put I did put one chipboard on here. I did. I'm looking at the layout. I put one on there. It says holiday traditions because every year she sends out photos of them taken with Santa, and it's always one really nice one, not just, with him in a chair. I think they were in a sleigh one year instead of Santa. And so they're different, but they're really nice ones. And so I'm putting holiday tradition there because they created a tradition. And this day's excursion, they all wore their pajamas. The kids, the parents, the grandparents, the aunt, everybody wore the pajamas that matched. I mean, it's not like they wore different ones, they wore matching ones. So they all look so cute. Um, the flowers that I'm using I think all of them were from the laser cuts. And I'm going to tuck them in and around, and I'm going to use them all up because the flowers is the kind that's used in the wreath. And I thought, man, they'll look really good on here. And I saved the poinsettias for another layout. And I will cut a couple of them in half so I can spread them out just a little bit more. And there's that chipboard, and it did take me a minute to figure out where to put it. And I set it aside even and everything. Well, I think I held it in my hand a while even, thinking I was going to end up using it. And I finally figured out where I was going to put it. And this string here, it looks like twine, red and white twine, but it is one of the laser cuts. So it's really fine looking. I finally decided to put the holiday traditions right under one of those hole things. And so it's going to go there. And I'm cutting the leaf off of that little flower and I'm tucking it in the O. And I planned on putting the part I cut off over there on the left hand side of the H, and I forget, but I will get it in there before I take the photos. I seen it laying there, so I grabbed the glue real quick and tucked it under. It's not very big, and you probably wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't pointed it out, but I did not just throw it away. I did use it. I totally love this collection. It is by Katie Petit, and yeah, it's just such pretty colors. You can just get so involved with creating the layout and have so much fun. At least I did. I think after I put these flowers in, I pretty much will be done with the layout. I am going to pull out my Dilutions white spray and put some splatters on there like snowflakes. And I think that's it. After I took all the flowers under here, the ones I cut in half, I think the ones I cut in half were the last of them. But while I put the little dots on here, I want to mention that I was so glad when MK posted that she hadn't seen any Christmas collaborations and did anybody want to join? And I said yes, because I was wanting to do one and nobody else had mentioned it. And I was tickled that MK and Janet were doing one. But that's it. That's my layout. And yeah, I really enjoyed making it. I love this collection. Well, I think I'm in love with 49 and Market. But yeah, there's the finished layout. And um, I did think about putting some candy canes on there too, just so y'all know. But with my paper I used for the title, I thought, well, I really don't need to add any more. I wanted the title to show up better, so I did not add the candy canes. But there's the holiday traditions, and it looks like the only blue in there, but if you look close, like you can see some right underneath there at the top right hand. It's not quite as dark as the chipboard, but then I think the chipboard's usually darker to start with. And as you can see, there's some more blue down underneath there. But I wanted it on there. There was one other that was white with black writing, but I wanted this one. I like the curve of it, kind of like a ribbon. Just so cute. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. And if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those who already are, thank you so very much. But have a happy scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. all, well, 14 days anyway. Bye.